Good morning and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Feshy Bridge, which is home of the Cairngorms Gliding Club. And I have to say, this is live weather in the sim, but it doesn't look like this in real life right now. In fact, right now, if you were to look at the Lochmorlich webcam, which is just over the hills there, it is very different weather. For a start, it is chucking it down with snow right now. So one thing I am going to very quickly do is just double check I have actually got live weather set up, because I'm sure, yeah, live weather. -2. It's fairly windy, but we don't seem to have any snow, which is odd. So it'll be interesting to see if that progresses as we go. See if the weather changes at all. It's just a relaxed flight. Hell, you know, we'll see what the world throws at us. But we're back in the Comanche. This is the new Comanche native for 2024. Lovely aircraft, full of life. AccuSim is all about a living, breathing aircraft that will deteriorate, and depending on how you fly it, it will behave in a different way. It is just, well, it's like owning your own aircraft, and in a way that's kind of what we're doing here. If I could just get the right button to get back inside, cancel the, there we go. So what I've done is I've taken my my Comanche and I have used the, where is it, maintenance, that's what I'm looking for. Down here in maintenance you can select to have a brand new, so for example if you and it's by livery, so if you wanted a brand new aircraft you can select new. I have just this morning reset this aircraft as used, so we've driven up here to Feshy Bridge, and we have picked up this used aircraft that we're going to fly, and because it's used, by Lord, we are going to have to inspect it, because you never quite know. If you're feeling really brave, you can always select auction, and you never know what you are going to get out of that. But that's what we're going to do anyway. So it should be a fairly interesting flight. Just very quickly, because people might be interested. This being the new version for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, it has got some extras which I did cover in a recent video, but you can have the G5s. I actually, this is and they're the standard G5s that come with the Asobo G5s, if you like. I actually prefer these kind of handcrafted instruments that A2A originally did for the Comanche. It's really nice. So as we can see, looking at it straight away, I'm just checking down here that some things are where they should be, and it should have kept yeah, it should have kept that where it is. But we have literally just climbed into this used aircraft, and we can see that we've got some funny things going on. They've left the cabin heater on, they've left the pitot heat on, so we're going to turn all that off on here. I'm going to get rid of the magic patwang bungee cord. Let's just move you back that way. I'm just going to double check. Yep. This is why it's just so important to inspect it. Okay, so I'm going to, let's put the parking brake on for a start. Quick glance over the instruments, everything is off here. Let me just quickly check in the chat, because there's people talking. Joel, how are you doing? Jungly, good to see you. Mart, I heard that this stream is a very PogChamp. Is that true? Mart, I haven't got a clue what PogChamp means. I'll be honest with you, I remember my kids talking about Pog. I can't remember what it was. So I've no idea what that means. Krasnij flew Comanche from PL to Southwest E through the Baltic today with live weather. Wow, that would have been quite something. Quite something. And thank you, by the way, for subscribing. Much appreciated. Robert, good to see you. Director Sim bought the Aerostar. Thanks to your videos about it. Love it. Oh, great! I'm glad you enjoy it. I think the Aerostar, very much like the Comanche, is like having your own aircraft, and that's what I love. I've got the Comanche for my single-engined antics, and I've got the Aerostar now for dual, and it's a lovely morning, isn't it? I'm a little bit disappointed it's not chucking it down with snow. Interesting to see how that develops. If you've got a tablet or a phone or something, look up the Lockmorlick webcam and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It does not look like this right now. I wonder actually, is it worth? I wonder if I cycle the weather. If I go into custom, if I select, let's see, clear skies. So let's reset it that way. And then if I go back to live, okay, yeah, it's not really changed it, has it? It's got, it's quite windy, and we've got a bit of a crosswind, but it's not really doing much for that. Anyway, so I need to get checking things. So first thing I'm going to do is let's check in with the friendly. Well, I was going to say the mechanic. He's not the mechanic. He's the guy I bought it from in the pub. So we're gonna do a walk around, but we are gonna just find out from him who he claims he's a mechanic. So I'm going to trust him. So how's it doing? Okay, so it's not looking too bad. We have got a bit of wear on the propeller. We've got an advisory on the propeller, so it doesn't mean that it's damaged yet, or it doesn't mean that it's gonna come flying off. But it does mean that there's an issue there. So we're just going to click on that. I get the click spot. The propeller has a lot of time on it. It's not holding its speed as well, and it should, as it should. It should be overhauled now or in the very near future. So I've just told him he's paying for that because he should have been honest. Right. Otherwise, we've got all greens, so that's good. Let's inspect the engine. So we've got an advisory on the oil lines. The oil hoses are getting old and are not as flexible as when new. There are 2 long hoses running to the oil cooler in front of the Comanche, so it's important not to push these. If they burst in flight, they could start an engine fire. Replacement is highly recommended. I don't want an engine fire. Let's get that sorted out. He's paying for that as well. Quick check of the electrical systems. Battery's all charged up, so that is excellent. So let's quickly come back to here. We are going to do a quick walk around. First of all, I'm going to check the lights as it's new. Okay, interesting. So what have we got there? We've got the gear warning. So physical gear warning, lever is down. That's my fault, not his. I can't blame him for that. Right, let's try again. Get some lights on, get the nav lights on. Boom, boom, boom. Rotating beacon, and let's jump outside. Okay, let's get rid of those god awful. Okay, it's not going to let me do it. No. Am I doing the right one? Maybe. Control V. Alt V. I thought it was Alt V to get rid of those. Oh, don't want that. Okay, funny how it works in some aircraft and not others. Right, so we'll quickly check the lights. Oh, actually. Yeah, there we go. Got rid of it that way. So you're working. You're working. Quick run round here. You're working. Port light is on. Let's have a duck underneath. Got our rotating beacon. And we've got our strobe flashing, and just round the back. The rear lights aren't very bright, but I can tell they're on because that's kind of like an opaque, milky colour. It would be clear if they weren't on, but during daylight they just don't shine very bright. Okay, so we've done that. Let's jump back inside. We can have all the electrics off now, apart from something I should have quickly had a look at. Now, in this version, it doesn't. Yeah, it's not on there. It doesn't work, but I'm just going to pop the pitot heat on, and then we can jump out again. Yeah, in this version, you certainly the last time I tried, if you try and test to see if the pitot heat's working by examining it, Oh no, that was just removing the thing. Yeah, so there's no real way of telling. I don't think there's any kind of heat haze coming off it. Certainly not that I can discern in there. Let's have a quick look at that. Yeah. Okay, back in here. Let's have all that off and let's dump the flap. Nice mechanical flap lever there, not relying on the electronics or anything. Okay, so back outside and let's have a check. So that's all good and solid. Aileron. Excellent. Oh, something I should have done. Rookie error. See what we've got in the way of fuel indicated. Okay. So not a huge amount, certainly enough for today, and not much in the tip tanks. Something I have noticed in the new version is that sometimes it's difficult to see the fuel in the bottom. Can't really see much there, but as we are as we are not going to be using the reserves, that's not too much of an issue. We can do a quick drain. Again, as it's used, who knows? But we've got no contaminants there. Okay, let's come around here. Quick check under here. Chock's been removed, and the tyre condition is okay. Wing seems okay, and we've not got any issues with the light. Just remember to click that bit there. Now, did I or did I not? Yep. So we've got fuel tanks on. So I just need to have a quick look, get the click spot. Where are you? There we go. Yep, that's all good. Down you come. And close that. Quick look round here. That's looking okay. We've got no squirrels hiding in the engine. Propeller, now that we've got Matey Boy to buy as a new one, is good. Let's just close that, and then we can check the fuel in here. Now, yeah, it's very hard to see it. I think A2A have done something with the how the fuel is represented. You can see it now. You can see that kind of blue colour in there, but I do find that I have to get right on top of it to be able to see it. Helifly, you're more than welcome to. I think it is on multiplayer, and we're at Echo Golf Zulu Lima. I didn't publish anything because sometimes it takes people a while to load in and everything, and I won't have any time to wait while people load in, because I need to kind of get cracking with it. But you're more than welcome to join. I think it's Southeast Asia. Okay, now that's interesting. If you've watched the last one, you would have noticed that the oil here is a lot darker than it was before. So that shows that it's it has been used, and at some point fairly soon, I'll probably I'm going to do it now. I'm going to change it. Why the hell not? Get them to pay for that as well. That's all good. We've checked the stall warner. We've checked the pitot. Let's have a look for what it's worth in the tip tank. I don't think we'll be able to see much. No. Can't see a thing. Okay, close that. Aileron's good. Flap is good and firm. I'm going to come around here and do this actually. Let's have a look. Yep. Can you see a thing? I wonder if we can climb on the wing from this side. If you get the angle just right, you can hop up. There we go. Yeah, that's all good. We have fuel. What I get to, yep, that's all good, that's all good. I've checked that, we've checked the fuel, we go around the tail. Elevator's nice and solid, rudder is good, we've checked the lights. I will catch up with the chat, by the way. Static port is clear. This is a very haphazard walk around. And static port is clear there, and that's all good. Check the baggage for squirrels. No squirrels. Get rid of those bags. We don't need them. And that is us good to go. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. I think that's fairly comprehensive. Right, let's jump back inside. So I said I wanted to change the oil. Okay, not seeing you on Southeast Asia. Okay, Helifly, let me just double check. Let me just double check. Online. Oh, Western Europe. I'm in Western Europe, so yeah. There you go. Right, so oil. Let's have a look over here. I don't want to do anything with these. We don't need to wash it at the moment. Oil grade. Let's have a look. I'm going to... There we go. And I'll put... Just going to top it up. I seem to remember... That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, why not? Let's fill it up. Let's fill it up, and I'll quickly show you. If you know the Comanche, then you will know this anyway. But just for anyone who doesn't know it, if I run round now quickly, and I will check the oil, and you'll see, hopefully. Yeah, different colour, much cleaner, more of a golden hue. Right, okay, so enough of that. Back to here. Checklist pre-flight is done. Passengers, you wind your neck in. Where we go? Let's get some people in the back as well, because they want to come along, don't you, you happy lot? And that's all good. So I'll brief them. Seatbelt secure. Control locks have been removed. Parking brake is set. A gear switch is down. Flaps I can now put up. Radios are off. Yep. And the masters are off. And all electrical switches are... Let's just check that. There we go. Nav light's now off, and that's all off down there. Circuit breakers all in. Let's just... Where are you? I've forgotten how to release this, so I can just move... There we go. That's better. That's better. And what did I want to check? I just wanted to check those and circuit breakers. Yep, here we go. Good check of those. This is AccuSim, so you do need to be careful because they can pop out, and before you know it, you take off and something isn't working as it should do. Okay, we'll have the rotating beacon on now, and then we go to the engine start checklist. So fuel selected side tank, got them on both. Mixture is fully rich. What's going on with my levers here? Got levers everywhere. The cat must have been playing with them. Mixture is fully rich. Throttle is cracked, and prop fully forward. Carb heat is off. Yep. Master switch can now come on. Fuel pump on. Check for pressure. Anytime there. It's starting to move. There we go. How wonderfully alive. Right, fuel pump. We've checked for pressure. We can have that off now. We're now going to give it... I'm going to give it 5 strokes because it's a cold day. By the way, in the chat, do let me know if you can't hear the aircraft, or if anything else is, or if I'm too loud. Do give me a shout. Hello to everyone that's joined. Wow, I've just looked up at the chat and there's a lot of people who've joined. Good to see you. Right, okay, so we got as far as that. I can now unlock the head tracking again. Where did I get to? So we primed, mags to both, and every start in the Comanche is different, so it'll be interesting to see how this one goes. Prop area, oh hang on a minute. There we go. Prop area, clear, get out the way. Open that, there we go. Oi, you lot, get out the way. Bit shy. And let's go. Look what I've done. We've got a gun sight. Whoa. Oh, she's running rough. She is running rough, isn't she? That's what happens when you buy used. Just going to come back on the mixture a bit. I suspect our plugs are, let's move that out of the way, I suspect our plugs are a little bit, let's have a look at the engine analyzer. Now that's interesting. We've got no indication for spark plugs at all, whereas normally we would. So something not quite right there. Okay, now I need to, embarrassingly enough, need to quickly jump out. Come around here. Don't worry everybody, everything's alright. Watch the propeller, don't go near the propeller. Close the hatch. Sorry everybody, sorry. Go. Let's get back in. Okay, so that's all good. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, so you can't see the indication plugs either. Okay, there must be something going on there. Roberts, yes, very observant old chap. It was a gun sight, but I decided we didn't need it. Right, back to here. Checklists. Blah blah blah. We have leaned. Oil pressure is good, and we just need to warm up a little bit because it is rather cold. Just checking that I have lean mixture. Okay, so let's bring a few other things on. We can have the strobe on, pitot heat on, nav lights on, fuel pumps off at the moment. We can have avionics master on. We've only got the Billy Basic avionics. We're not going to be using ATC, but I will turn everything on. That's all good. That's going through its warm-up phase. Happy with that. Okay, how many hours has this got on it? Look at that, 2,762 hours. She's seen some sky, this one. The engine's running smoothly now. Oh, we've got a bit of, you can see we've got a bit of condensation coming in now because of all these people that we have on board, so we just turn the heating on a little bit in the vent, and I'll open that because that's already open. Yeah, there we go. Just open the vent up a bit just to clear that. Okay. Doing on the temperatures. They are still rising. So you can see we've got, it's quite windy today. We're going to have to taxi down to the bottom and then take off in the with this rather nice crosswind. Still no sign of the snow. Okay, so we've got it on board, just checking a few things. So good to go. Engine is doing its thing. Happy with that. Electrical system is doing its thing. Alternator's doing what it should do. So I think we're good to go. So I'm just going to taxi gently down to the other end, just to get us ready, poking into wind, just in case anyone does actually join the stream, because this is the only parking slot here. This is the kind of default Feshy Bridge. It's quite interesting that they modelled it, I guess because it's a gliding site, and because Asobo wanted to have gliding as a feature, they've included it or added some extra detail to it, because it never used to be that good. Let's get out of the way of the wrong way. So windsock is fair blowing, and when we get to the other end I'll show you where we're going. Let's get with you for a second. Looking out for wild stags about to run out in front of us. Here's the end. So I'm just going to, without trying to block the wrong way, just tilt us round, and then we can do a warm up. Oh, we've got someone coming. Excellent. Who's that? Heli Flyer, good to see you. Okay, so parking brake back on again. Let's have the landing lights on, and the strobe is on. Didn't mean to click that. I always do that. I get the. There we go. Taxi we've done. That's all sorted out. Yep. Run up, position into wind, brakes hold, fuel quantity check. Fuel is good. Fuel selector's design tank, got them onto both. Mixture is, I'm going to now put it onto rich for our run up. Throttle 2000 RPM. Listening to the engine now. Definitely running smoother, isn't it? Have a look at the instruments. Yep, everything is okay. It's funny how you definitely, when you've just bought a used aeroplane, you definitely check it a little bit more. But everything is looking good. Gyro, suction, all the engine instruments are looking absolutely fine. Let's do a quick mag check. Yeah, they're okay. So we've definitely cleared those. Right, let's cycle the. Oh, come back. Let's cycle the prop on. And then we'll bring it back to 1800 and see if the governor holds it. There we go, looks good. Excellent, put that back in, then we'll check the carb heat and we see a drop. So that's good, that's working as well. Excellent, right, before takeoff, controls. Okay, let's come back on the controls, full and free. We can if we stick our head through the window. Right, flap is up because I'm not going to be using that. Rudder trim is fine. Elevator trim is neutral. That's the one you've got to be careful of, because if you haven't, because this is persistent, if you leave that and you take off with a load of elevator up trim, for example, you suddenly find yourself weaking into the air in a way that you didn't really plan on doing it. So, fuel pump can come on now, all our lights are on, and that is good to go. We are happy. Right, take off, whack the throttle open, off we go, 85 miles an hour rotate, all that good stuff, VY105. So, let me quickly show you where we're going to be going. There we go. So, we're taking off here from Feshy Bridge. We're going to fly around the edge of the kind of Cairngorms mountains range here through the national park. We're going to fly over Braemar Castle, over Balmoral Castle, and that will be our turning point to head up to Tomintoul, which is the highest elevation town in the UK from what I remember, or Scotland at least. And then up to Glenrinnes, next to Benrinnes. Benrinnes is the sets the, or certainly used to set the minimum safety altitude for RAF Lossiemouth. That's where we're going to finish off. There is a distillery next to this turning point here, but unfortunately, as we're not in helicopters, there's not much we can do about that. So that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Right, quick check of the plan. Can you walk through the prop? Nothing happens. I don't know, fried chicken. I've not tried it, mate. Not tried it. Any VFR plan or just sightseeing? Just well, you kind of just saw the plan there, so it's kind of a mixture of both, really. Right, let's go. So I'm just going to come forward slightly. Let's get the parking brake off. There's our crosswind. Remember to correct for that. Pop that back in. Are we good? Yes, we are. Let's go. To have a look at the that webcam, but you'll see there's a massive difference between what the Asobo live weather thinks it is and what the real live weather is, which is unusual. Okay, so just do a turn in the valley now. You can see some snow over there, some snow on the high ground. There. That's it, reasonably. I never get bored of flying up here. Yes, you tell us every time. You tell it. I can imagine you saying. So you can just see some snow on the top of the hills. But it's definitely snowier than that. I wonder if we'll. This could but well be one of those flights where it starts off looking all picturesque and everything, and then suddenly we find ourselves in the middle of a snowstorm. So we'll see. So this is for fried chicken. He was asking about the engines. There you go. So we've got Lycoming 0540, and you can't switch different engines, but you can switch different propellers. So we've got the MT on this one, but that's what we've got. There you go. So, temperature's dropping, so I need to have some more heat. Close that. And then you can see that orange arrow means that it's starting to warm up, because I don't want passengers to get cold. Right. Oh, the wonderful mountains. You can see we've got some fairly low cloud. And I have got a little bit off course because I was faffing about showing you stuff, so we need to come back round here. And really want to be flying through too much cloud. This aircraft is also very prone to carburetor icing. So if I put the engine analyzer on, this is what we're looking at here. We've got a bit of visible moisturiser in this. Moisturiser. Who's been smearing moisturiser on my windscreen? We've got some visible moisture, and it's quite cold. Just firing along here. Just zooming in on my map a little bit, just so I've got a better view. Just coming along this this valley, so we are climbing. This is the River Feshy down there. But yeah, the Comanche is a really nice aircraft to fly. It's very alive and it keeps you on your toes because things can go wrong. I'm very aware that this is a used aircraft, and therefore aware that things might happen that we don't want to happen. So just giving a little bit more beams and just going to lead us out a little bit. I'm not using the digital display, just doing it the old school way, looking down at the EGT. Dirk, how you doing? Good to see you. I was going to do another HEMS flight, and then I thought, let's do something different. Trusting it 100%, just keeping an eye on it. The mountain is looking rather splendid. Mr. Dirk, this is the, so we're just skirting around the Cairngorms National Park. I'll just quickly show there we go. So we've taken off from Feshy Bridge over here, and then just coming round over Braemar, over Balmoral, turning in Balmoral up to Tomintoul, then up to Glenrinnes, Benrinnes, and then over to Lossie. If you've been on any of our helicopter flights, you might recognise that rally. That's where the little bothy is. Nice little spot. Okay, how is everything behaving? It's behaving well. How is the temperature? 19 degrees, so that's it's warming up for everyone. Everyone happy? Of course they are. Look at that, he even slightly nodded. So he's quite happy. Anyway, how are you lot in the chat? It's I've had my first day back at work after Christmas. I wish every first week back was one day, but it was kind of quite a good way of kind of breaking your head back into work mode. I was on call over Christmas, but only got one shout, so that was quite good. And now it's kind of back to weekends. earth is 2026 going to bring? I'm not going to lie, 2024, or 25 rather, I'm kind of glad to see the back of. It was a mixed year. So quite happy to see the back of that and bring it on 2026. Good. Might find a way to Tomital that we're popping into when I head into it a little bit to watch that. Nice bit of wind here. Okay, I can see why now. We've suddenly, wind seems to have picked up a bit. We've got a 42 knot crosswind. Oh yeah, you can see it there. That's the great thing about the Comanche, by the way, is if you're learning to fly in the sim, it's a really good way of it visualises things and shows you how things work, but you can see how the wind is behaving with the aircraft. Not realistic, obviously you wouldn't have that in the real aircraft maybe, but it's a great way of understanding what is affecting. I can see the wind on the nav map, which is what I was looking at, but interesting nonetheless. Right, Braemar Castle, this is the first thing we've come to see. Playing with the map range, so I thought that was closer than it actually is. Interesting. Wow, that's okay, so I'm going to have another look at that because that's not what I thought, and it certainly used to be quite prominent. Quite prominent in the sim, but I do know that since they messed around in 2024, some of the POIs don't quite look the same. So let's come back round. Sometimes I'm trying to Spitfire. Oh, there it is. You can just, wow. Okay. Admittedly, I usually come through here a lot lower, which is why I wasn't spotting it, but you can just see it there. There's Braemar Castle. Okay. The passengers in the back now feeling thoroughly nauseated after pulling some G. Come back round. I think one of the things that I love about the Comanche is that it's one of the things that I always loved about A2A. It's kind of what got me into flight simming, taking it seriously, was that you really do feel like you're in something that is in the air and going through the air, and how the wind and everything has an impact on it. We are definitely getting blown around up here, so that makes it quite interesting. But nothing that we can't cope with. And if needs be, we'll just have to get the H145 and do search and rescue to find us. Oh, okay. Is that... yeah, it's hard to say because I've got the Can you hear me any better now? I've got a different mix in my headphones. I can't turn the... There we go. I've just turned that down a little bit. I guess the wind is a lot louder for you than it is for me. So we are heading over now to Balmoral. Just taking a bit of a shortcut over the hills. This is the kind of area I love flying the helicopters in. You just see a little sight and you think, oh, I'm going to land there. Trevor, I don't know. I've actually not got any graphics mod in right now. I'm not using Atmos. I thought I'd give it a try without. So I'm just really using. I've got Bijan Seasons, but I don't think that would affect the snow. I'd be interested if anyone else is up here in live weather. If you're seeing snow, that would be interesting to know. There's Balmoral. Now, I definitely remember that Balmoral doesn't look as good as it used to since they tinkered with it. I think it used to use the Orbex one if you had that pack, and then Orbex withdrew it from the POI pack because Masobo had put it in, but it doesn't quite look the same. It looks better than I remember it, actually, to be fair. Cheers, Heliflyer, thanks for confirming. There's Balmoral, flying the Scottish flag. I'm trying to remember the name of that. It's the yellow one with the lion on it as opposed to the blue. The white cross. Okay, now that is not particularly fantastic weather up ahead. We are having to climb up into the mountains to head up to Tomintoul. So we've got about 13 miles to run to Tomintoul, so just need to be wary of that. This is probably the point at which if this was real world, you'd either go IFR or turn back, I guess. The luxuries of being in a sim, eh? Very interesting though that we've got the live weather on and not seeing that really quite heavy snow. Usually it doesn't. It's not that different from real world to the sim, but maybe snow is just one of those things where it's not quite there. Okay, so let's have a quick look down. Come on. So I'm just keeping that open because it'd be interesting to see if we see anything in the way of any ice building up. So that's a nice clearer patch here that we're heading towards. Happy with that. See a little bit of snow on the top there. Looks like we might have a bit of snow appearing in the sim now. I presume that's snow and not rain. We will see. Just keeping to the left of this clump of muck. of snow on the high ground up ahead. And over there. It's a little bit patchy, but definitely not as it is in the real world, for sure. I don't think you'd be wanting to do this flight in the real world right now, to be honest. Just reducing height just a tad. Sticking our heads in the bottom of that cloud. Probably missed it. Yeah, it could well be. Could well be. Bit of ice building up on the window there. Oh, let's quickly check. I'm conscious that I've left the heater on. 34 degrees. You might as well be in Cyprus. Let's turn that down a bit. Don't want anyone moaning about it being too hot. Let's get that back up. Into a clearer area here. That over there, for anyone who's been up here, is the Lech Ski Centre. Just there. But no snow there, but snow ahead. Interesting. And that is arguably a little bit lower than where we've been, so maybe it's... yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the parameters are for the Asobo, whether to say, right, well, we're going to snow here and put snow here. But interesting that it is a little bit patchy, but we're coming up on Tomintoul anyway. Nose. Check if everything is running good. I'm going to close that off now. You can see how we're seeing more snow on the ground now. A bit lower down than we were before. Just going to go to the left slightly just to avoid that. Can't really see it because it's kind of hidden in the snow, but that's Tomintoul just on the nose. That's our next turning point. Thread up there, and it's looking murky up there. So we may have to, I don't know if anyone has seen that video of the SAS helicopter flying through the valleys in Wales. Someone's driving along in a car and then suddenly out of the murk, right above, or well, slightly to the left of the road, but pretty damn close, this helicopter appears out of the mist because they're following the road to get back down. There is Tomintoul. So we'll turn over here and look at that. Nothing but murk. So we're definitely going to have to break a few rules to keep in sight of the ground here. That's kind of more what I was expecting it to look like when we were over at Fushy Bridge. A little bit more white, a little bit less brown and green. Okay, now we are just going to have to go into it. So I'm just using a bit more altitude just to try and get under that cloud, just so we can try and keep in sight of the ground as much as possible. But I have a feeling we could be going IMC shortly, which won't be so good for the sightseeing. IMC and ILS into Lossie. Bad, so it's kind of 23 knots coming over from that direction. We are definitely getting blown around. So there's the road. Going into the murk, entering the murk, over. Now luckily, I know that Benrennis, which is over to the left, which is what I'm avoiding now, if I follow this road it just takes us through the valley. Road is just over here in the trees. Just see it. Visibility is not good. As long as I follow the road, I know I won't go banging into any mountains. Back at this point, wondering what the hell they've got themselves into. Left. Then we can get over here. Lovely. It's like a Christmas card. Top. So what I'm going to do is, because of the weather, I'm going to come over to the left at this point, do a sharp turn, but I'm almost tempted to carry on to Dufftown. Oh, it's clearing now. So there's our road. Cleared for a millisecond. Yeah, I'm going to keep it low and we'll head up to Dufftown, up to the Glenfiddich distillery, and we'll do a left up there, just avoiding going into the high ground so much. And it's clearing, there we go. Cue the music. How nice, how picturesque. Better. Anyone fancy stopping at the distillery after that? Nothing to worry about here. But it's quite blowy. Dufftown. there. Some old castles. That's the distillery down there. Okay, Lossie bound, here we come. Looks like we've got a bit of precipitation. It's actually quite beautiful when you kind of break out of clag like that, and then you've got the sun on the snow and everything. It's very very picturesque indeed. Let's have a quick check on everything. Yeah, everything's behaving as it should. In our used aircraft. Just going to come round to the left a little bit, coming up over Craigellachie. See the River Spey just down there. Famous bridge built by Thomas Telford. I'm sure it was Telford. Just there. They actually modelled it in the sim. Right, let's concentrate on the flying, please, matey boy, instead of messing around looking at bridges that no one's interested in. Okay, so clearer. Oh, I was going to say the snow is. We're kind of moving away from the snow now, but some snow suddenly appeared over there on yonder hill. I love how you can hear. Hopefully you can. You should be able to. You can hear the wind just knocking things, the aircraft flexing. It's so alive. So, what can we see? Got pretty good visibility. I can see the coastline. You can just see the aircraft carrier that's sitting off the coast there. That's part of the Lossie scenery. This is the Nick B 007 Lossiemouth that we're going to be using. And I'm going to just have a quick look and see what the weather is. So, it's going to be interesting. 26 knots from 350, gusting 36 knots. So I think we'll take 0.5. I think that's probably the best thing. This should be interesting. Should be interesting. So we'll do an orbit around Lossie and then come in on 0.5 and see how that looks. Looks like we've got some cloud up ahead over Lossie, but not anything too difficult. You can just see, if you know where you're looking, you can just see the Poseidon hangar at RAF Lossiemouth just kind of above. There we go. So if you look above the outer marker light indicator on the panel, if you keep going up to the coastline, you can see a big white kind of grey hangar building, and that is that's the Poseidon hangar. You can see Lossie just sticking out into the water over there, and there's Elgin. So it wasn't necessarily representing live weather correctly with the snow, but nonetheless that was quite beautiful, coming into the snow and seeing what that was like. Now I am on multiplayer, so I am going to quickly put labels on, just to see who we've got in the area, because I don't want to ruin anyone's group flight. There's Heli Flyer, lovely formation flying, really nice. Sorry, I am so busy looking at you flying, I realised I'm not being a good stable platform to form ACE on. There we go. Right. So I don't think we've certainly not got anything in the circuit. We've got that PA-28, but he's a long way away, so nothing to worry about there. There's our aircraft carrier. And if you follow the stream, you know that this is where quite often we do the HEMS search and rescue stuff from. There's the hangar over the... I'm saying there's the hangar over there. Where in all that murk and buildings and stuff is the hangar? But if you know, you know. It's just over there, kind of almost central now in the screen. Momentary stuttering is going on there. Turn the labels off, if that's doing something funny with it. I think it was. Get a few things sorted out. Fuel pump on. Check if fuel feels good, and we've got both selectors on. Engine is doing what it should do. Car beats off. There's the old harbour. When I was here in the mid-early 80s, that was full of fishing boats. Now it's more pleasure craft, but it was back then it was a proper old fishing village. Okay, is everything behaving? Feels okay. So this also, I should say, this flight is very much a practice flight for me. I don't get much flying time these days, and the Comanche is an aircraft that is incredibly realistic, and it's not complicated in terms of systems, but it's not an easy aircraft to fly with finesse in conditions like this, unless you are absolutely tuned into it and well practiced, which I'm not. There's Cove Sea Lighthouse. So we're just coming around. There's the Poseidons all sitting out on the ramp. Back when I was here, it was Shackleton's doing that kind of job. Can you imagine it? Okay. Let's get my head into the game. This is going to be an interesting crosswind. You can see that crab that we've got in at the moment. Quite something. Okay, so let's have gear down now to adjust trim. Quick look at everything, feels good, yep. Yeah, thanks, okay. Lights are on, that's good. Spitfire, fighting the urge to do a curved approach. Castle. Again, if you know where to look, you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, what I'm saying is probably meaningless. Okay, got down here. We've got a good indicator of the gear. We can come in high. Our ground speed is 81 knots, and you can see that compared to the indicated. I'm going to go full flap today. I have a feeling this is going to be a bumpy one, folks, so hang on to your hats. Oh, that wasn't the most gentle touchdown, was it? But we got down. Right, so to hell with it. We'll park over by search and rescue. That's where we normally go. Give them a thrill turning up in anything other than a helicopter. Go, and I keep meaning to. I need to assigned some switches to strobe and landing lights so that I'm not searching for a click spot at times like that. Past fire section. Afternoon, lads. There we go, and we will just come up on here. Excellent. Right, parking brake on. That's all good to go. Let's just clear the baffles a little bit. And fuel pump come off. Rotating beacon off. Pitot heat off. Mags off. Everything else is okay. Going to pop you back in. Let's have nav lights off. You can run your battery down if you're not careful. Avionics off. Should have done that before I turned the engine off, of course. And that is good. Okay, let's have a look at the aircraft. So, maintenance, airframe. Did anything break? No, everything's green. Let's check the engine out. Yeah, that's all good. So yeah, we've got here the engine, the aircraft has behaved itself, and it is a murky day. Getting murkier and murkier. The reason why the other Comanche is floating, by the way, is because probably because I've got the scenery, and the other one, the one that Helifly's got, is probably the Asobo kind of standard issue. So we've got a slight difference in our mesh height, but there you go. Anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a fun flight for me. As I said at the start, I was fully intending to do HEM stuff and fly around in helicopters, but I thought it'd be quite nice to do a flight in the Comanche, and good practice for me as well, and also was interested to see what the weather was going to do. So we had some nice snowy scenes, didn't it? We had some quite claggy scenes, but we had some nice snowy scenes as well, so that was quite nice. But anyway, thank you ever so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.